Squared Circle. It's June 17th, 2013. I am Hollywood J. Williams.
John Zimmerman, back with you.
Back with you once again. We have lots to talk about as far as independent wrestling, as far as TNA, as far as Raw is concerned, as far as Payback. What was Payback like?
Payback wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm glad that Ryback got what was coming to him. And, that slam through the top of the ambulance rattled the windows on our luxury suite there.
Slam right through the top. Couldn't believe it. What's going to happen to Ryback now?
Yeah, that remains to be seen. Tonight's Raw should be interesting. They're coming from Michigan.
Grand Rapids, Michigan, not too far away from Chicago, I assume.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to see, what the outcome of Ryback's next feud should be.
Don't know. John Cena retained his WWE title last night over Ryback. The 3 stages of hell match. The first stage being the lumberjack match. Ryback kind of had the advantage there. John Cena then won the tables match and then won the ambulance match, and that's where you saw Cena giving Ryback the attitude adjustment through the roof of the ambulance, sending him crashing through the top and just...
Yeah, Ryback got some payback from Mr. Cena there.
Got some payback.
Yeah.
Payback was, well, we can't say it because it's for... Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you saw several angles there of the devastation that John Cena gave to Ryback. Just for effects, video effects, if you will.
Yeah, it was kind of tough to see from our suite, so I'm glad they put it back on the monitor and showed us those different angles. So, it was neat that the production was that quick.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. The WWE production just proves again, to be the top in the business. They definitely blow away anything that's going on over in the TNA.
Yeah, absolutely. Other things you saw were Curtis Axel winning the Intercontinental Championship by defeating both Wade Barrett, he was the incumbent champion, and The Miz. Triple H and Vince McMahon made their only appearance of that evening after the match, and congratulating Curtis Axel, whatever. Now McMahon wants to have the match between Triple H and Curtis Axel, and last week he didn't. What is that? Just to argue with Triple H? Now that Triple H decided to agree with him? It just sounds really stupid.
Well, we know the last couple of weeks on Raw have been like rewritten on the fly, and I think they kind of lost their way in which direction they want to go with this angle. Hopefully, they'll get their ducks in a row and and decide which way they're going to go. But Curtis Axel getting the IC title, hopefully they'll make him strong with it, and they won't poo-poo on him like they've done the last few holders of the IC title. Yeah,
because definitely Kurt Hennig's son, Larry Hennig's grandson, you want to, you want to give it if he's worth it, which I think he's more than worth it.
Yeah, keep him strong. Keep him strong. Don't give him squash matches. If you want to make him a heel, have him win by, not losing the belt by getting counted out or getting disqualified or something like that. Your typical heel heat. And just keep him strong. Keep the belt on him.
You can still be a heel and still actually, put on a decent match and, and not necessarily break the rules all the time.
Yeah. But just one way or another, keep the belt on him. That'll just keep him strong and give him a good long run with it. And
I think so.
Just don't give him don't put him out there with Santino Morella's, the bottom rung guys. Give him mid card guys to really build himself up to the next, maybe not the next pay-per-view, but possibly the one after that for a really large
good Kofi Kingston feuds, R-Truth. R-Truth, he shows up for work every week.
Yeah. I'd like to see him, if he could work with a guy like Antonio Cesaro, that would be good.
That would be good, but then Antonio Cesaro is another heel.
Yeah, that's true too. But you know, somebody of that caliber that's going to give him a good match, and you know, and be a solid mid card guy. You know, R-Truth is kind of at the bottom of the card still. You know, and Kofi, you know, we've seen him a little too much. Yeah, and yeah, our Ryback did put Kofi through the table in a bad way. So we might not see Kofi. You know, doing anything major for a while.
He's not doing anything. He's doing some Special Olympics work, as the New Haven Register pointed out today. Him and the
and
Big
tribute,
Show.
and also tribute to the troops. He's visiting the troops. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, but other things, the Shield is still strong. Dean Ambrose retaining the U.S. title over Kane. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns retaining the tag team titles over Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan. Shave.
Yeah, you know, I've said it for a while now. Keeping the Shield strong is really important, and you know, let them roll through the roster and really build up some heat. I think you know, we could run that all the way through SummerSlam.
We'll run that all the way through SummerSlam. Maybe a little. It's like, who's going to beat the Shield?
Yeah.
Who are they going? Who's actually going to beat the Shield?
And you know, we are going to see Daniel Bryan break away from the tag team action.
Yeah.
And he's going to be the next opponent for John Cena. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think the new team. I think they might be just taking Kane. I mean, they might be taking Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan and pairing. Well, I think they're going to take Randy Orton and Kane maybe and pair them, or I don't know what they're going to do. Is Kane going to have a tag team partner? Or?
I don't know. You know, Kane should go off into a singles program again, and as well as Randy Orton. I think we're sooner than later we're going to see Randy Orton get into the heel mode again. That's where he's better. He's better as a heel. He works so much better as a heel.
It makes more sense. The Legend Killer.
Oh yeah. You know, and possibly give him his entourage again with bring back Ted DiBiase.
Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
They could even do Ted DiBiase, Cody Rhodes, and Damian Sandow this time.
Yeah. So, I think the Randy Orton face has run its course. Let him do something, really heelish. Even if he turned on Kane and the two of them can put on a good show.
The two of them would put on a...
Kane could have to act as the face in that scenario.
Because Kane, I don't know, what do you think about Kane being a heel again? That's already been done about 10,000 times.
Yeah. Kane needs something new for his character. He's done it. Been there so long and done it. Everything. He needs to go away for a little bit and come back to give us a little bit of a refresher.
A little refresher. Refreshing to see AJ Lee now. I want to see what kind of ring skills AJ Lee can have now that she is the incumbent Divas Championship title holder.
Yeah, well, we saw this coming a while ago, and it has been a long time coming, and I hope they continue to push, some storylines with the Divas. Rumor has it they signed 4 new Divas to developmental NXT, 2 of whom come out of Shimmer. So you're going to see, hopefully, with Sarah Del Rey being the trainer, also coming over from Shimmer, maybe the Divas are going to have a little bit of resurgence.
I hope so.
Yeah, because seeing Trish get into the Hall of Fame, and they're showing her highlights, and she's talking about the girls that she had worked with, the women that she had worked with. You had Ivory, you had, Sable, you had Lita. Lita probably the top athlete, going. Victoria, Mickie James, and Beth Phoenix. That was like probably the pinnacle of the Divas on WWE programming. And,
when you had my dear.
And of course,
Gail Kim.
Yeah, of course, Gail
was
Kim
over there in 2004. That's when Trish held the belt.
Yeah.
When Lita held the belt, that's when they were at their strongest, and that's where they need to get again.
Yeah.
It's either to drop them completely because, to have them out there as eye candy. I mean, every guy likes looking at girls. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
It's it's human nature, but I mean, this is what they call sports entertainment, and there's the word sport in it, and there's got to be some kind of competitiveness. And these girls, if they wanted to be models, they just stay being models. They actually want to,
Yeah, I mean, they do put them through the training, and and give them experience in the ring, and then they don't let them exercise it.
Exactly.
And like anything in life, if you don't use it, you lose it. And they're going to get, the typical term is ring rust.
Ring rust.
And like if you don't use it, you lose it. And having just AJ Lee skipping around the ring.
Right. Or having the devilish look on her. And I'm sure AJ Lee could put on a decent match.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Without having to skip around.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you scour YouTube and stuff and you see her work prior to joining WWE, there's some great matches with AJ Lee out there. You can definitely find them. YouTube is an awesome source for that. And she was AJ Lee before she came into WWE, so she retains that name.
Right.
So it's not like you really have to search too far.
No.
So, she can work. Naomi came through NXT, and I believe she won the season that she was on.
Right.
So, presumably she can work, and you've got quite a lot of talent. Like I said, the girls from Shimmer, that's all they do is work, because their production value, their budget is low. So the one thing that they do have to offer in Shimmer is in-ring ability. And much like Ring of Honor on the men's side, right? Because they are affiliated, and the Ring of Honor, again, they a very low budget. So what they do is they offer you a superior in-ring, product.
I wish Ring of Honor would come back up here again, because I'd really love to see them again.
Yeah.
I wish it'd come. Last year they were in Providence, Rhode Island, and I wanted to go, and that's something they do very little microphone talking.
Right.
They do their talking when the bell rings and they get in there and they have the match.
Yeah.
That's where they do their talking the most.
Yep.
That's where guys like CM Punk and Daniel Bryan came from.
Oh yeah. Exactly. And Antonio Cesaro as well.
Antonio Cesaro. There's a few others.
Yep. Yeah.
But that I would love to see them actually get a national television contract. I think if they got on national TV, they would be putting TNA a run for their money. I know that.
Definitely. They would definitely get more viewers than TNA does, especially if they stayed away from the soap operas and the storylines and just gave you the
wrestling.
Go back to like the Mid-South, AWA days where there was some promos cut. But 90% of what was going on was in the ring. You'd have a 1 minute, one minute promo, basically setting up the match, letting you know who the face is, who the heel is, and the reason they're fighting.
Like the NWA back in the day, the Jim Crockett.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I always said WCW was great, and then Hulk Hogan came along.
Yeah,
and that was it.
Yeah. Well, WCW tried way too much to emulate the WWE.
Yeah, but other things here. Alberto Del Rio has captured the world title once again from Dolph Ziggler by taking advantage of a concussion injury that Dolph Ziggler sustained.
Yeah.
Would you?
Del Rio, I can't see him as a face. He doesn't work as a face. They're really pushing him. He got that popularity, like 6 months ago or so. And, he dropped coming out in the cars, and, they changed his opening. I think he was a much better heel, and I just don't buy him as a face. It just doesn't work. It was working when they had Zeb Coulter to counteract him.
Yeah.
So you definitely had a huge heel, in Zeb Coulter. So then, it really set up Alberto Del Rio.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good when the Big Show was picking on, what's his name there, Ricardo.
Right.
That was good.
So, unless you're going to set him up with a very, very strong heel, I don't think he's that strong of a face that he can get over.
Yeah.
You know, he's not convincing.
And who can you really set him up against besides maybe the Big Show or Jack Swagger?
Right.
Next week.
Or you know.
Yeah, Jack Swagger has a court date next week, so we'll see where that you know the court decides. Yeah. For his you know, recent arrest.
We're going to see where Jack Swagger's future lies.
Right. So that's going to lie in the judge and the gavel. So
Yeah.
I think that's going to be more devastating than the hammer and aces and eights there.
Yeah.
That judge's gavel.
Watch out for that judge's gavel.
Oh yeah.
I know other people right now that are feeling the wrath of the judge's gavel. I don't want us to. Yeah. But so it looks like we have but there again, can you see Dolph Ziggler as a babyface? If we're seeing a double turn here.
Yeah. They would have to do it gradually. You know, there'd have to be a reason for it. You know, they'd have to come up with a plausible explanation of why, you know, all of a sudden he's a good guy. You can't just flip a switch.
It seems like they tried to do that last night.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, the people are maybe cheering Dolph Ziggler because he was injured.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because he was off TV for a while.
He was off TV for a while and he got injured, and they knew he was honestly injured.
Right. You know, yeah. Anytime a heel or a face leaves for a while and they come back, they get a big pop. Just because you haven't seen him in a while, and you know, and we're just so
you're happy to see him,
right? We're just so used to seeing the same guys over and over and over. You know, when somebody's not there for a while, it's refreshing to see them.
Whether they're a heel or a face, you don't want to see anything bad happen.
Oh no, not at all, not at all. Of course not.
Yeah. You don't want to see that. So I mean, obviously, you know, they might be cheering him. I think Dolph's just going to have to do something really underhanded so everybody gets pissed at him again.
Yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Talking about a heel turn, when do you think CM Punk's going to make that turn?
Back to being good? Back to being face?
Back to being face?
His contract expires a week from today.
Yeah.
Within the next few weeks, he's not billed for tonight.
Right.
He's not billed for tonight. Whether that means he might still be there. Just
no. The Bruins and Blackhawks are playing, so that's where he's going to be.
Oh, he's going to be at a game.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you've seen the internet,
he's not going to be at work. He's
right. He's at every one of the playoff games.
He's had the last 3 months off
to watch hockey,
and he worked last night, and he's going to be on vacation again.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got to work for Vince McMahon.
Hey, you know what? If you look at his record prior to this. This 3-4 month period, right? He worked his tail off, man. He didn't take any time off, and he worked through a lot of injuries. And you know, he paid his due. So you know what? We all deserve a break today, and it's his turn.
It's his turn for a little break. But Paul Heyman will be there. Chris Jericho will be there. But Did you see any difference between Punk and Heyman last night? Like the relationship between the two?
Oh, are we thinking that?
Is it gonna?
They're gonna dissolve it somehow.
Is there trouble in paradise?
It's possible. You know, there could be your. You know, I said it, I think either last week or the week before. Punk turns on Heyman and plows through Heyman's guys. You know, so you'll see a match with. Curtis Axel, which would be an awesome feud, by the way.
Yeah.
Because if anybody can get Curtis Axel over, it's
going to be Punk.
It's going to be CM Punk, and then maybe CM Punk, plows through Ryback as well. Not Ryback.
Brock.
I'm sorry, Brock Lesnar. Two giant men that can't wrestle. I can't really tell them apart.
Brock.
Neither one of them can talk.
CM Punk can talk, but Brock Lesnar can't talk.
Brock Lesnar and Ryback can't talk. So.
Ryback rules.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Ryback rules.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
That we went from feed me more.
Roids. Oh, sorry.
Who knows? Who knows what goes on? I mean, I always thought Brock Lesnar would be the one to turn good. But
feels like deja vu all over again.
Sometimes you don't know what's going on from 1 minute to the next.
Right.
But we have a return for Money in the Bank pay-per-view coming up. Announced halfway through last night's pay-per-view.
The man that held that belt.
The former hardcore champion, the man that held this belt right here, ladies and gentlemen. And the very first guest that myself and my old co-host back in the day, Steve Cundy, Stone Cold Steve Cundy, interviewed on a show called Ringside Seat. We interviewed this man back when he was the ECW TV champion, Rob Van Dam.
The whole effing show.
Rob Van Dam. I wish I had the tape available. I would play it for you fine people.
Yeah,
tonight.
I think I still can detect a little of Rob Van Dam in the air.
We had a great night with him. I think he had a great night before he came on Ringside Seat.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely love to see him again. But it's good that he's coming back to the WWE. If he's Mr. Money in the Bank, is he going to win the money? Is he going to win the Money in the Bank pay-per-view this year?
Well, according to sources, he's only scheduled to do 30 shows and 4 pay-per-views. So it ought to be interesting how they use him. Much like Brock Lesnar's contract and The Rock as well. I'm assuming that he's got an independent contractor's license, so that he doesn't fall under the regular roster's wellness policy, much like The Rock and much like Brock Lesnar, that don't fall under the regular roster's wellness policy. If you know where I'm heading with this, if you know what I'm talking about.
So what makes Rob Van Dam so special? I mean, don't get me wrong, I respect the guy. He came on the Ringside Seat, and I had the chance to interview him, but what makes him so special? Or you can't be subject to...
Are we heading into possibly an induction into the WWE Hall of Fame? Is that what we're leading up to with this?
Yeah.
For Rob Van Dam?
Yeah, because thinking about it, who's on the horizon for? I know it's a little ways off, but who's on the horizon for the next Hall of Fame?
Paul Bearer's already announced.
Obviously they announced Paul Bearer.
They announced Paul Bearer already.
If Undertaker retires, Undertaker will walk in with Paul Bearer.
China.
But
Undertaker, Paul, the Macho Man and family, I would really love to see.
That's
whether it's up to whoever. It's up to the family.
Yeah. Well,
it's up to Vince probably too.
Yeah. Well, Lanny Poffo is still going to push, right? Because it was Randy's wish that his family go in
at the same time.
Yeah, his dad and his brother, and Vince was opposed to that. He just wants to put in Randy Savage. So it depends on who's going to win out on that argument. But there aren't many prospects at the moment. I'm sure we can scan the WWE encyclopedia and give a list of possible candidates. But I'm thinking they're bringing RVD back in for a limited run, and it's possible that his last hurrah will be an induction into the WWE Hall of Fame, and well deserved. Well deserved.
Well deserved. I would love to be in attendance for that if I could get over to New Orleans.
Yeah. That'll be something else. And
New Orleans. Which wrestler hails from New Orleans?
You're picking my brain, which doesn't work.
Pimpin' ain't easy.
The Godfather?
The Godfather.
Yeah. I did forget that.
The Godfather.
Yeah. I don't think he's a candidate for the Hall of Fame.
You don't think he's a candidate?
No.
He's all right.
Very short-lived gimmick.
But Papa Shango.
Yeah.
Kama. The Godfather.
Yeah.
It could happen.
It could happen. They'd have to be really slim pickings. He'd have to be like the 4th or 5th one, and he'd get like a 2-minute on the 1-hour show.
Yeah, he'd be the first one they'd pick.
He'd be an also ran. Oh, by the way, we put this guy in too.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Anything's possible, and we got plenty of time. We're fast forwarding the clock way too much. On that.
Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. But like I said, Ross from Grand Rapids, Michigan tonight. They'll have the fallout from the pay-per-view last night. More McMahon family drama, where Triple H is not going to want to wrestle Curtis Axel now. Or last week he wanted to.
Yeah, he was hot.
Yeah.
Like I said, they rewrote the shows the last 2 weeks on the fly, and I don't think anybody's doing watching continuity, and especially Stephanie. Is he Triple H or is he Paul? I know at home he's Paul to Stephanie,
Yeah.
but
When
on
he's
the
getting
show,
into the limo, he's Paul. When he's outside the limo and they're talking, he's Hunter.
right. She can't even keep it straight herself.
She can't even.
I know in their daily life he's Paul, obviously, or Honey or Sweetie.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Triple H is a
But
honey. I don't know.
well, whatever you call your spouse.
Yeah.
Your wife calls you honey, sweetie, pain in the ass, whatever. Hey, you. But she's been out of the acting game for a while. She needs to figure out that his character is Hunter, and that's what you need to refer to him as.
Yeah.
To my recollection, they never really acknowledged that he was Paul Levesque.
No.
Officially on camera.
Never.
So she's kind of breaking kayfabe.
She's breaking kayfabe. She's been out of the acting business and been in the political business lately.
Yeah.
And then in the business.
Yeah.
Office
obviously
work.
in the business aspect of it, he's Paul as well. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's understandable that you'd make a mistake, but my goodness,
Right. Exactly.
learn the script, honey.
Learn the script if you're going to be on camera. That's the first.
I didn't think anybody could make Brooke Hogan look like she was a good actress.
No.
And then out comes Stephanie McMahon. Mm-hmm. Woo!
Stephanie, yeah, they need to really talk to her. They say, his name is Hunter.
Right.
He's on camera.
Yes.
Yeah. We didn't change him to Paul Levesque completely. I mean,
right.
And everybody knows obviously his name is Paul
right,
Levesque.
but let's for the show.
Yeah, for the show. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I mean, I feel bad. I feel more bad for them.
Right.
Because things like that people will pick on.
Like us.
Yeah.
And it is live, so she can't go back and edit herself.
No, exactly. Got to be careful what you do on live TV. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Also, the return of Mark Henry tonight, and some Twitter rumors that he is going to announce his retirement.
There's a candidate for a Hall of Fame also. No, I'm not a fan of Mark Henry, and never have been, but he's what they've asked him to do. When you really think about it over the years, other than the in-ring performance, he's had an affair with Mae Young. He's done the craziest stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, we could sit here all day. So you know what? Here's a guy that's been loyal to the company. Will come in and do anything that Vince tells him to do or asks him to do, and he's definitely earned his stripes in that company, and he's put a lot of guys over, in the process, and he's gotten hurt in the ring outside, many a time. So you know what? Here's a guy that definitely has earned it, and he might walk into the Hall of Fame.
He could, but his contract is he had a 20-year contract, and I think he signed it in 1996. So by 2016.
Yeah.
If he's not in before 2016, in the 2016 Hall of Fame, he'll be there because then it'll
now
be.
We're really getting ahead of ourselves.
Mark
your calendars, folks.
Yeah, exactly. You
heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
Like 4 years in advance. Oh.
So, but is Mark Henry going to retire right now? I don't think he's retiring yet.
I doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt it. But who really retires from wrestling?
No.
Ric Flair's had more retirement matches than most people have had regular matches.
Yeah, I think so.
So
Ric Flair retires once a year, whether he needs to or not.
There you go.
But so will he announce his retirement? Remains to be seen. I don't think so. I mean, maybe somebody will want him to have a retirement match. We'll have to see where they're headed with it. I'm not going to speculate too much on that because I know his contract, and I know if he's that big, they're going to want to use him they're going to want to use him up the next 4 years.
But we don't know behind the scenes what his health really is, and he might be done.
Unless he's not workable anymore for some reason.
Right. he needs, hopefully he can slim down a little bit and be more agile, because
Yeah.
that's really, that carrying all that weight around it isn't good. On a man his age,
No.
and the injuries that he's had, that weight on his knees, on his ankles, his back,
He's a big guy.
yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah. Whether he has this, is it an illness or is he just big?
No, he's just big. Yeah, it
He's
was
just-
muscle at one point, but
It was, yeah. No, it's never mind. Like we talked about Punk not being advertised for tonight.
right.
It's part of the mystery of his return. Fandango is also advertised for tonight.
Da-da.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm surprised he's still there.
Surprised he's still there.
Yeah.
I think he got over a little bit. I think the fans got into him a little bit.
Yeah, it seems to be like a rise and fall, depending on the town, I guess. Mm-hmm. How the reaction goes.
They have to give him something really interesting to do.
Yeah.
That's more or less it. So I'll move on to some other news here, TNA and other things.
Yeah, let's be really brief with TNA, because I want to get to some of the independent
I'm going to
stuff.
be really brief with TNA because there really isn't too much to talk about,
There's a-
which is usually the case.
Yeah.
Hogan possibly coming back for another match. Last time around the block, quote unquote. I really, if it's true, I hope it's the last one, and I hope.
Terry Bollea.
I hope it goes away altogether.
You know what, Hogan, you're an icon in this business, and I really think you're destroying any reputation you had. You're destroying the legacy that you've had by, just not wanting to walk away from it. And unfortunately, I think that a guy with Hulk Hogan's ego, with just his absolute narcissism, is not going to be happy until he's in a wheelchair. And I don't want to see that. The guy, can barely move as it is. And just one bad bump. I mean, we see guys
You got to do it for whatever. When's it going to be the last time? I think you know what? He's an addict.
Oh yeah,
He's an addict.
Oh yeah,
he's
without a
addicted
doubt.
to the business. Him
Without a
and
doubt.
I love Ric Flair.
Him
Don't
and
get me
Flair.
wrong. I love you, man, but you're addicted too.
Without a doubt. I mean, Hulk Hogan can go and just get a pop anywhere, but he just feels the need that he's got to get back in the ring and got to wrestle again, and one that takes a spot away from somebody that could be doing a much better job in the ring than Hogan is. Two, like I just said, I mean, he's destroying his legacy. And three, we're going to see the guy literally cripple himself in a match.
Eventually.
I mean,
Do you want to see the match where Hulk Hogan gets carried out of the ring and you find out he can't walk ever again?
I think we're going to see that. And I
Do you
think
really
it's.
want it, though?
I think
I
it's.
don't.
You know what? I think it's going to be reality. It's not going to be a work. It's not going to be a storyline. I really think we're going to see Hulk Hogan get severely injured in the ring, and it's going to come to the point where he's either in a wheelchair permanently, a la Superstar Billy Graham.
Yep.
Or or something very, very severe.
Something where it might even come to the point where TNA tells them, we don't want you here anymore because you're going to sue. Yeah.
I mean, Dixie Carter, I know Hogan is your franchise, and, he's the name, of TNA. And that's primarily their own fault because they're not utilizing the talent that they have.
Yeah.
And
they're paying him a lot of money and paying the other people less.
Right. And they're not utilizing them and building, brand names because, if
Because
Hogan...
they have to pay Hulk Hogan.
Right, but if Hogan isn't there,
6-digit salary or whatever it is. Yeah.
Who are you going to use? Who's going to? What name have you built and branded the next generation star of TNA?
And they got a lot of
They
talented
say that all the
people.
time. Yeah, they've got such a great roster, and they're not utilizing them.
Yeah. The problem with TNA is not the roster, and not when they have good. You know something? This is coming to something that a WWE icon tweeted about or talked about in an interview somewhere, and that's Stone Cold Steve Austin. He talked about the match last week between Kurt Angle and AJ Styles.
Yeah.
And I thought that the match between Kurt Angle and AJ Styles was going really great.
Yeah.
Really great. And I thought there was going to be a clean finish.
Yeah.
And here they disappoint me yet again, and here comes the aces and eights.
Yeah.
On both of them.
Yeah, I think they're creative in TNA should be let go.
I wanted to go to the bathroom and never mind. I don't want to say
right,
it.
Right.
I mean, how many decent matches have to get destroyed by
Although I will
groups
say
of people like the Shield or aces and eights?
I am intrigued with Kurt Angle, because if anybody can give Rampage Jackson a good show in the ring, it will be Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle will definitely put over Rampage Jackson. So, I mean, we really didn't get to that last week.
No.
Quentin Rampage Jackson is now part of the TNA roster and Bellator, and he has a contract with Spike TV. And we're going to see at some point, excuse me, an angle with Kurt Angle versus Rampage Jackson. We're going to probably see them as partners to begin with,
And then
we'll have a turn, and then you'll see either a cage match or some stipulation match where Kurt Angle is going to put over Rampage Jackson like nobody's business.
Like nobody's business,
Yeah.
and make Rampage Jackson. Hopefully, that's got to be up to Rampage Jackson too,
Right.
if he's willing to learn and work.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
he's at OVH right now, or OVW, excuse me, Ohio Valley Wrestling with Danny Davis right now. And speaking of Danny Davis, he's going to be at the Fan Fest this coming weekend. So
Yeah, we'll be getting to that.
we might be able to get some comment from Danny Davis on Rampage Jackson from our roving reporter. We're going to send out to the Fan Fest this week.
Yeah, we got to send a reporter. I don't know. Maybe we'll look into getting him a camera,
Yeah,
possibly.
that's a possibility.
Possibility, yeah. Because I am tied up over the weekend, unfortunately. One more thing, well, a couple more things. Flair will be at the NXT TV taping this week. His daughter does work for NXT Developmental. Speaking
Yep.
of, divas coming up.
Yep.
Bo Dallas is now the champion, and they have acknowledged this on the Hulu Plus and WWE websites, whatever. They want to get NXT onto television.
Yeah, yeah, and they're dropping the Wednesday's main event, and they already dropped the Saturday Morning Slam. So you'll see some room now for the NXT program. Hopefully, it'll be on most cable providers, unlike Superstars that was only on WGN or something like that, which is available on just network.
I think they're gonna definitely try to. I think they're gonna start advertising for it. You're gonna see big commercials for NXT coming because they're really gonna want to push it.
Real quick, you mentioned Stone Cold Steve Austin. Anybody that's a fan of iTunes podcasts, I just discovered Steve Austin's podcast, and if you listen to nothing else, there's a two-part series where Stone Cold sits down and talks to Jim Ross. Right? I wish it was a 10-part series because Jim Ross just tells not only his life story and going up and getting through the territories and how he got into commentating and what have you. Just fascinating, the stories that Jim Ross tells during these 2 one-hour interviews. And 2 hours was not even enough to scratch the surface. And some of the stories and his comments of why it was a bad thing that the territories are now gone. On the one hand, he does praise Vince for all that he's done, and he definitely changed the game for the better for the workers. But as far as talent goes, learning on the road and going from one area to the next so you can stay fresh when it was very regional, and you wouldn't see a guy for a while and he can change a character or come back as somebody else. The Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast, the Steve Austin Show. You can find on iTunes. I highly recommend it. And the other highlight of the ones I've listened to so far, he had an interview with Chael Sonnen from the UFC, and he flat out asked Chael Sonnen if he would be a WWE wrestler after his UFC days are over. And you'll have to listen to Chael give his answer for it.
I'm curious to hear that myself.
I'll give you a little teaser. You'll have to listen to Chael Sonnen to answer that. But
that's the next thing is these UFC fighters.
Yeah, you know what?
Mixed martial arts guys trying to break into the wrestling business.
It just gives them a longer life. At some point, you're not going to be able to fight at that intensity level of the MMA, sport. It's
and hopefully
100%
hopefully it works out a little bit better than wrestlers going into mixed martial arts like Brock Lesnar or Batista.
Keep your eyes and ears open. There's rumor that Bobby Lashley and Batista are going to be facing in the cage relatively soon. I think it's going to be a crap fest, but I think it's going to draw money like crazy. So you're going to have the former WWE,
the two former WWE
guys going at it in a shoot fight. So I mean, that'll bring eyes to the card alone.
Yeah,
right.
Just because it's Bobby Lashley and Batista.
Yeah. So given that, you're going to have a lot of people tuning into. I presume it's going to be an pay-per-view. I would hope that they put some young and up-and-coming guys on the card so that people that are tuning in for Lashley and Batista are going to see the prelim fights with some of these up-and-coming guys. So I think it's a good thing that you're going to push this match only for the younger guys that you're going to get some attention to. You're going to draw attention to it. But I think the Lashley-Batista fight is going to be a crap fest.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, but I think now's the time where we have a little less than 20 minutes left.
Yeah.
We do this. We do this every week. Sometimes we do it more than other weeks, and sometimes we do it less. Here, we're doing it for. We'll probably just spend the rest of the time here. And if you still love to call, the number is 203-234-0025. We'll be here for a little less than 20 minutes, but. You talk about people that you will see sooner or later working for TNA or WWE, and you can see them around here in independent, local wrestling.
Yeah.
Connecticut, New Jersey, Massachusetts. Go visit your indie promotions. Go
support indie wrestling.
Go to your Go to PWA. Go to
PWA.
CTWE, go to NAFW, go to all these guys,
Yeah.
because it's important, because you never know, you're gonna say, hey, I saw him over at Chicopee Boys and Girls Club back in 2013 in August of 20, and now look at him, now he's on Raw.
Yep.
You could say that, I have right here. I will start out with the entire card for CTWE. We tried to get the promoter on tonight, but he was otherwise detained. But he tells me that he would like to come on for a future episode of the Squared Circle.
Yep.
Mr. Joey Brico. CTWE will present Bethany Battle. Heroes Emerge this Saturday evening at the Bethany Town Hall. Doors open at 6:30. Bell time is at 7 p.m. If you've ever been to one of these cards, he packs them in.
Yeah, the Bethany Town Hall is a relatively small venue, and I suggest getting there early and grabbing your seat. And being that it's so small, it's like you are right on top of the action. You are right there. You're not going to see, that type of entertainment at a TNA event or a WWE event unless you've got thousands of dollars for those front row seats. Or you join us in the suite.
Right,
but,
of course.
The Bethany Town Hall, CTWE, it's a great show, good performance. But these guys, again, as we said about some of the other promotions.
Mr. Brico, he's giving us 9 matches.
Yeah. And
how many matches did Payback have last night?
Not
9.
Yeah. But, these guys give you in-ring performance, over the glitz and glamour. They give you talent in the ring.
They give you quality action for what you're spending. You see action from the time that bell rings at 7 o'clock all the way until 10, 11 o'clock at night when they are wound down.
Oh yeah.
Lucas Sharp is their current champion. He will be defending against Slick Wagner Brown. These are some great stars. I've seen them both in action.
Yep.
AJ Cruz, you know a little bit about, do you not? Or is it AR Fox we're talking about?
AR Fox is I can't say enough about AR Fox.
I don't believe he's on this card. But,
no, he's out of state right now.
He's out of state right now. AJ Cruz is a shooting star champion against Alex Cypher and the Mastermind. It's a three-way. The Tag Team Championships, Team Friendship, which is the combination of Mark Sherman and Scotty Slade, against the Believers, Mikey Chase and Anthony Green. They have a six-man match: Brian Fury, Pinky Sanchez, Bandito Jr. against Jay Busta.
Yep.
When you're talking Jay Busta, you're talking about his manager, Showtime Stevie
Stamos.
Stevie Stamos, a former guest here in the Squared Circle.
Friend of the show. We're trying to get him back on. Stevie, give us a call.
Former co-host on Center Ring. He went off to, I thought he went off to Australia to marry that.
Nikki Nitro.
Yeah, I don't know. What happened?
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. He's going to have to let us know. Jay Busta and the Monarchy. That's the six-man opponents there. 3-on-1 handicapped match. Vladimir Joseph against Team Shazam.
Yep.
Reed Roello, Sam Shields, and Andy Bivians with Dan Demand.
If you watch the DVD of this year's WrestleMania, where they're showing the people in and around New York City, Vladimir Joseph actually made the DVD.
Did he not?
Yeah, of he's standing in Toys R Us in Times Square.
He made the DVD, and he's one big guy.
Yeah, he's hard to miss.
He's not as big as Mark Henry, mind you, but he's...
Right, but he's a big boy. And
he's a big guy.
He's actually in our opening too, talking to Bull Drip.
He's on our. You can see him talking with Bull Drip in our opening every week.
Definitely, I remember that.
So
I was there.
Yeah, he goes. Yeah, you were interviewing him.
I was the guy holding the microphone.
Yeah,
the guy in the green shirt, and that's me.
There you go.
Yeah, Antonio Thomas versus Mikey Webb. Ricky Reyes versus Dalton Castle. I've never even heard of some of these people, but I'm sure if Brico's hiring them, they must be pretty good.
Yeah, Brico and CTWE bring in talent. They're not just going to, hey, you want to wrestle. They bring in some talented guys from around this area.
Yep.
And like I said, they give you a quality show, and you're up close and personal, and it's all in-ring talent. These guys, don't put on a crap fest. They don't do botchamania. They get out there and they give you 110%. And you definitely get your dollar's worth.
And Brico demands it too.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
Dan Barry and Bill Carr versus the After Party. Anthony Battle and the Mac. That's the match. And also a #1 contender, Chris Battle with Matthew Reason versus Aaron Epic.
Chris Battle, also known as the Red Lion. You've seen him at PWA shows as well. He's one of the guys that actually gets along with everybody and does cross promotion. So he's been on several different local promotions.
Several local promotions.
Yeah. He's a great guy. He's a good worker, good guy, and
just loves to wrestle.
Yeah.
Just loves to get out there and do his thing. Yeah. So that is happening this Saturday, and also this Saturday in another state. A state called Massachusetts, a town called Fairhaven at the Seaport Inn and Marina. It's not an actual card, but it is known as the Pro Wrestling Fan Fest, who Aubrey, co-host of Centering, graced us with her lovely presence last week. Will be attending.
And Nikki V is going to have a booth there as well.
Nicolette Vincelli, as far as I know.
Yep. Mario Mancini, former guest of our show, has a booth there.
Mario Mancini, also NAFW, Eric Newton and company, I understand, will be up there.
Also scheduled to be there, oh my goodness, Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake, as a matter of fact, I think he's going to be hanging with the NAFW guys.
Huge sign. Mick Foley's going to be there as a bonus ticket. You can get to see Mick Foley do his, I don't know, would you call it stand-up?
a stand-up comedy act?
It's almost like Kevin Smith does. He goes and tells some wrestling stories and tells some jokes and just does what Mick does best. He's himself.
Right.
Nobody plays Mick better than Mick.
No.
And
nobody could tell a story quite like Mick Foley could.
Oh yeah, very animated.
If you've read any one of his books.
Yeah, very animated, very humorous, and always entertaining. Mm-hmm. But the list of that Pro Wrestling Fan Fest is like 80, literally 80 guys, and Bobby the Brain Heenan, to me, is the highlight of the whole show. Mm-hmm. God bless Bobby the Brain. He's had some health issues, and we wish him all the best. And I hope this isn't the last time we see him. But you know what? He's not a young man anymore, and he does have his health issues. So this may be a great opportunity to go up and thank him for all of the angles and all of the stuff that he's done in not just WWF but WCW and going way back. I mean, there's a guy that's forgotten more about wrestling than most of us will ever learn. Mm-hmm. He's one of the minds, the brain, much like a Jim Ross. Mm-hmm. That just. Knows everything about wrestling.
Gave to the business so much.
Oh yeah. You know what? He made more guys that couldn't talk and didn't have a character, and he gave them a character, and he put them over. Just by standing there.
It's the power of a manager like him, like Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, Captain Lou Albano, definitely.
Guys that can't
even
talk.
Sherry Martel. Mm-hmm. Scary Sherry came out with some.
Right.
Freddie Blassie, the Grand Wizard. We've said this before.
Paul Heyman, what he's doing with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. We need more of those kind of guys in the business.
There will be doors will be opening at 8 a.m. So it's an early start for those of you who aren't morning people such as myself. You're being forewarned here. Merchandise and several vendor guest stars, like we mentioned, Aubrey, Nikki V, others.
John Kelleher is going to be there.
John Kelleher will be there as well.
M&J Collectibles.
Definitely. Yeah. He's, if you ever get up to his store, which I have to do one of these days.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
You ever been to one of his autograph signings?
He's got more wrestling memorabilia than stuff that you haven't seen. Like, did they made this?
Yeah.
Just when you see it all.
It's like they made it just so they could give it to him.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where he comes up with this stuff. If you see his postings on his website, just bought a whole storage locker full of WWE. Like what? Oh my goodness, it's crazy.
How does he do it?
Yeah,
we'll have to ask him one day. That's all.
I think he's got a time machine. He goes back and buys this stuff.
Uh-huh. So. For more information, go to NEPWHOF, which is, I guess, New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. It said Weebly, WEEBLY. It's got to be weekly. It's got to be a typo.
Yeah, weekly.
.com. Yeah.
Server that it's on.
Yep.
Right. So that all the autograph signings start at 8:15 a.m. and that's the Pro Wrestling Fan Fest.
Yeah.
And for our Eric Newton and NEFW lovers out there,
Chicopee?
I got two of them.
Oh, okay.
He's having a double header this summer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. August 4th will be the Boys and Girls Club of Chicopee, Mass. at 5:30. That's Cruel Summer 2013.
Yep.
And Defiant Incorporated, which is I guess a group that's like kind of like the Shield or kind of like their version of Aces and Eights, running roughshod through NEFW right now. Defiant Incorporated returns home as NEFW presents Unglued, August 17th, 2013, the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Waterbury.
Oh, right here in our own state.
Right here in our own state, 7 to 10 p.m. I have to get in contact with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get up there and talk to him. I gotta, missed the last couple, that Aces and Eights in North Haven. I mean, they struck me that time, and I come out to the car, which is a very expensive car. I do not drive a Civic. I'm gonna tell you people right now, all right?
$150,000 Maserati.
Right.
Yeah, and those are some expensive tires I had to pay for, and when I find you guys, you're going to be the ones paying for it. My insurance, I'm seeking revenge against you guys now because my insurance rates went up. And it had nothing to do with living in the state of Connecticut. All right?
His go up, then mine go up, then yours go up.
Yeah.
It's because you
It's like a domino effect.
I'm going to find out who's responsible for this. North
Real
Haven
quick, before we got to cut out, I got to say, we're talking about these guys in NEFW, we're talking about CTWE, we're talking about PWA. You, watching us now, get off the couch, get on the phone, get on the internet.
That's
PWA, Pro Wrestling Academy, CT.com, Pro Wrestling Academy, CT.com. You could be the next CTWE, PWA, WWE star. Get up, get off the couch, get in the gym, work out with Joseph Von Schmidt, work out with Buzz Bloodsaw, Lucifer Lords, right? The PWA crew. Get your ass in the ring, right? And get out there and do it. Sorry. I wasn't going to say anything worse, but yeah, you can be the next superstar. Jacob Zimmerman is going to be the next superstar. He's working his patootie off.
So they're going to remember the name Jacob Zimmerman
Yeah, we hope so.
and forget the name Curtis Axel.
We hope so. Hey, we haven't had a good, how should I say this, Hebrew guy since Goldberg.
Goldberg, yeah.
Well, Paul Heyman's not in the ring.
Paul Heyman's not in the ring.
So Paul Heyman definitely needs another member of the tribe to represent.
That's it.
So
That's it.
get Zimmerman in the ring. Definitely.
Zimmerman.
Definitely.
Just call him Zimmerman and that's it.
Yeah, the Zim.
The Zim.
We haven't come up with a clever name for him yet, but we will. And ironically enough, he is a Goldberg. He does come from the Goldberg line. My wife is a Goldberg. Her family is all Goldbergs. And he could be Goldberg Jr.
And she's not related to any, like, Bill Goldberg, right?
No, we haven't traced it back that far yet. I've been going on Ancestry.com. What is that?
Something like that.
Ancestry.com. But he is definitely from the Goldberg lineage, so he could use that name legally.
There were Williamses that were burned at the stake over in England back in the day.
Yeah.
And accused of being witches.
Ah.
But how come I can't have any magic powers and find these aces and eights?
Whew. Well, we'll have to work on that. We'll buy a deck of tarot cards.
I know.
So,
But we'll wrap things up here pretty quickly.
yep.
But don't forget Raw tonight, TNA Thursday night, the Squared Circle next Monday night at 7 p.m. And Raw is on after us, and we're gonna definitely. I have a promise to appear from Mr. Brico.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be coming with Mr. Brico relatively soon. We'll get you a report from the Pro Wrestling Fan Fest. Maybe some photographs if we can get them up on the website.
Definitely.
And
Yeah.
that.
We'll file some reports there.
Yeah, and then the indie scene, and we'll be back.
We'll be back next week.
Absolutely.
I'm Hollywood J. Williams,
John Zimmerman.
and good night and good luck, and see you next week.